Hey Astro fam, it's Shelly, your astrologer, and I'm here with your astrology for November 15th through the 21st, 2021. Well, this week we've got a lot of Scorpio. We've got the Sun, Mercury, and Mars all in Scorpio. And that Sun, right off the bat on the 15th, is in a sextile to Pluto. Now, a sextile is an easy aspect, but it isn't one that comes easily. Or it's an easy aspect, but you have to work it to get it to happen. It's not something that's likely to just manifest without your asking and putting in a little work. It's a kind of aspect that when you put in a little work, things come easier. So with that Sun in a sextile to Pluto, now you might have heard that Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio. It's not. I'm going to say it's not. It is not the traditional ruler of Scorpio. And I will say that it does have an affinity with Scorpio, but a ruler and something that vibes with a sign is a little different. And maybe I'll talk about that in the future, but for now, just suffice it to say that Pluto and Scorpio do share things and they do get along well. Sun sextile Pluto is a good time to do journey work if you do anything like that. But in general, just try to go inward and center on yourself. And if there's anything that comes up for you that you don't like, and I'm talking like something that's not actually harming you, just an emotion or a situation, set with the actual feeling that's coming up. And see if that feeling can take you to something deeper just by feeling it and letting yourself go with the flow of what comes up as you're setting. So I mean the flow of where you're going in your mind, and just see where it takes you. That Sun is also in a trine to Neptune, so we could be getting some otherworldly vibes or just tapping into that which is not defined and that which is unknown. A negative way this could manifest is with somebody trying to take advantage of someone else who doesn't have a clear picture or a clear grasp on a situation. So be careful who you give your trust to. Give it where it's earned, or you don't have a reason to distrust, but don't let yourself go completely. On the 15th, the moon will also be in Aries, a Mars-ruled sign. So we've got moon in Aries, sun in Scorpio, Mercury in Scorpio, Mars in Scorpio, all Mars-ruled. So Mars is playing a really important part of this story, and you might feel driven to do something, to get something done, or just pushed or fired up in some way. So the best way to use that energy is to pull it into this story of creation, of exploring, of going deep into something that is maybe a darker side of who you are. And by darker, I really mean whatever it is you're defining as darker. Keep yourself safe. Don't go after those things that are going to harm you. And if you're not sure, wait. Don't pursue something and a situation that's being offered up to you that is dangerous. And if someone is being abusive or power hungry, just walk away. On the 16th, the moon will move into Taurus. Now, the moon is about what makes us feel safe and comfortable. In the sign of Taurus, it likes to be more grounded and centered in the body. During the time when we have Uranus in Taurus, though, this can be a little more disrupted, or it can be approached in what we would think of as non-traditional ways. So be aware that your sense of home and your sense of grounding might be played with a little bit. And because this moon and this Uranus are exactly opposite Mars, the Mars is going to be adding some more unpredictability to the mix. So, this story of what you're doing, what you're creating, how you're interacting has something to do with intensity and action. But it also has something to do with where is your home and who are you and what does it mean for you to be grounded. And this mix is helping you to redefine that. So play into that Scorpio energy and see where you can go into the dark places of yourself. This is a great time to play with your creativity. On the 19th through the 21st, the moon will be in Gemini. So Gemini is a Mercury ruled sign, and we also have Mercury in Scorpio. So to put this an easy way for those of you who know who Prince is, he had a lot of Gemini and a lot of Scorpio in his chart, or rather he had a strong Gemini signature and a strong Scorpio signature. Now there were other things going on, but this kind of energy that I'm getting at right now that you can tap into is that kind of energy. Prince was very, very versatile and couldn't be pinned down. And he was often defined as androgynous, but to me, he had a very, very, very masculine vibe, and at the same time, a very, very feminine vibe. And those standards that we use today to define these things are very different, but he was pushing these boundaries a while ago. And he is very sexual. He's very verbose. Everything that we saw of Prince was intense, and he created things without question, without answering to anyone. He did what he wanted, and he succeeded at it. There was that Scorpio vibe of having a sexual tone to everything he did, and an intensity and a purpose, and that Gemini vibe of being a trickster and playing around. All of this is something that you can use for inspiration. Now, I'm not saying you have to do anything like Prince or be like Prince. I'm just saying that's an example of this energy, or at least part of it, and the way that you or someone can create from it. There's a lot going on this week, and a lot of it has to do with exploring your inner world. And if you feel so inclined, discovering ways that you can share that with other people in very interesting ways. With Mars in Scorpio and Venus in Capricorn, we have an interesting juxtaposition. We have two signs that are really intense and really, really like to take control. So that energy can be tapped into and it can be played with. See what you can do with it. Like I said, either in your creative work with yourself or in your relationships with other people. Last thing for this week that I want to mention is that the sun is changing signs. It's moving on from Scorpio into Sagittarius on the 21st. So that's a movement from deep inner work to deep outer work, from inward exploration to outward exploration, from being focused to being open. This is a story we'll explore later. But remember, all of the signs are really on the same mission. They're really doing the same thing. And they might go about things in different ways, but Scorpio and Sagittarius are both about the quest for meaning, the quest for discovery. So whether you're going deep into yourself and grounding there, or you're finding a way to take yourself with you wherever you go. You're always going to be there. So reach into yourself, explore, get into that Scorpio vibe for this week and really go deep. And then next week, you can go outward a little bit.